Okay, so I want to talk about the FBA, ADOS Affinity Association with Ancient Egypt. I feel like we should let go of that affinity or connection with ancient Egypt. Now, there's been a lot of debate around Black identified populations' involvement in ancient Egypt. And I'm not going to get into that. Basically, ancient Egypt was like New York City. There were multicolored populations involved with ancient Egypt. That's all I'm going to say. So, yet, I think we get are attached to to ancient Egypt as almost a form of validation. Basically, there's this casteist ideology, this casteist narrative that we were these dumb savages, and we kind of try to push back against that narrative by using ancient Egypt as if to say, no, we are capable of civilization and culture and intelligence and use ancient Egypt as an example of that. But us doing that is basically looking for validation, which is what the caste system feeds off of. So I don't think we need to assert ancient Egypt to because we don't need anyone's validation. And then let's say, and then it doesn't even matter. Let's say hypothetically we were dumb savages. That wouldn't matter in terms of human rights. So dumb savages are still human. So even if that false narrative was true, it wouldn't matter because we're seeking validation because we want to be treated with basic human rights, with basic civil rights. But even if we were dumb savages, we should be treated with basic human rights and basic civil rights. So it's basically irrelevant. Then I'm tired of this getting into it with modern Egyptians, contemporary Egyptians, who are basically just, it's obvious that they're biased. So they never push back to the fact that Cleopatra was white identified, right? That she had European associated DNA. Like they can understand that concept. So someone can travel to ancient Egypt, be of a different gene pool, and be considered Egyptian. So why couldn't that happen with populations that are even closer? Like there was Black identified populations, African associated DNA populations right there. So they could understand that. So a lot of modern Egyptians, um, contemporary Egyptians are basically castists, caste worshippers, which since it's so obvious, again, there's no point of debating that they're they're castists, um, and who are milking ancient Egypt because modern Egypt is basically busted and irrelevant. Sorry, but busted and irrelevant. So, and then we don't even we don't have to go back that far. There's so many um, African, ancient African, pre-modern, early modern African um, empires and nations that are closer to present history. So we don't, if even if we wanted to um, assert African culture or African intelligence, we don't have to go back that far, and we don't have to go to Egypt. And then we can just look at US American culture. Okay. We almost every popular genre of music originates from FBA populations, or at least have a part of the root comes from FBA, okay, which is considered a um, artifact or a part of culture, part of civilization, music, artistic, creative expression. Um, we've created dialects, religions, dances, art, infrastructure. So I have no reason to reference ancient Egypt. Yes, I do believe there was a connection there, and we've expressed that connection. But to me, it's a fading connection, and I have no issue with letting it go.